So how we understand a briefing of sorts will take place. What more do we know?
Absolutely, Dudu. Good morning to you. So indeed, we do expect that there'll be a briefing at about 10:30 here. Of course, just to break down to the media what the processes will be for this conference, and also just, letting us know what we could possibly expect for this conference. We are expecting delegates to start trickling in soon, right here in Fourways at the Indaba Hotel. But just to give us more details about what they're expecting, how are things looking ahead of this Tshwane conference? I mean, they did say, the delegates saying that, they are ready and they are prepared and they are hoping that things will run smoothly. Let's then bring in Tasneem Motara. She is the ANC Tshwane region convener. Tasneem, thank you so much for your time. So let's just start off then with your preparations ahead of this conference. I mean, we do know that, and we saw the sort of situations that unfolded specifically with Ekurhuleni. What measures have you taken to ensure that we do not see that replaying itself out with this Tshwane conference?
Thanks for having me. I think importantly is about how prepared we are. And how many of the issues that we are able to resolve, so that when the conference does kick off and does start, all of the issues that may or may not arise in plenary are dealt with outside. So that even if an issue does arise for whatever reason, there will be an opportunity to explain it and move on. So we are focusing and taking a lot of time, being quite mechanical in approach to be able to deal with those, and we do believe that by the time we start, everything will be sorted out, everything will be resolved, and should there be a need to further clarify or respond to questions that may be asked, the Regional Executive Committee will be able to do so.
I'm glad you mentioned the issue of what needs to be resolved. Let's talk around some of the disputes. We do know that this conference had been postponed initially to this particular day. How are we looking with the issue of disputes? Everything resolved at the moment?
Yes, in terms of what the Regional Dispute Committee had before it, they have resolved everything as of last night. There are a few appeals to the Provincial Dispute Committee, and then I think there could be an appeal to the National Dispute Committee. We are waiting just for verification of one branch in particular that reran its BGM on Thursday, so we're just waiting for that verification. But all in all, once the appeals are dealt with and we have the verdicts and the rulings, we are able to communicate such to the branches affected, and we're able to proceed. It's very few, but it is important that they are met, dealt with, and responded to accordingly.
There's, of course, the issue of Tshwane being quite different in how they've done their processes, So the people that would like to be chairperson, so to speak, on the top 5, they do not necessarily know if they actually appear on the ballot paper at all. Why was it taken this way? Why was this decision taken and forward to actually run this direction?
So I'm not sure how different Tshwane is from the other regions, but we have an electoral committee that oversees the process of confirming the ballots in terms of the nominations. That was done by the IEC, and it's a IEC service provider that we use across the province in all regions. The outcomes of that will be communicated to the delegates, because it's the information of conference. It can't be communicated any other way. So like I said, I'm not sure there would have been a difference in other regions, but as far as I am aware, that's usually the process. They will confirm the nominations, and of course, like I say, with the few appeals outstanding, if it does make any difference to what has come out of the nomination process, also on their side, they just need to effect those changes as those rulings come in.
So we do know that these conferences do take quite some time, a full day even. What can we expect today specifically?
Well, today we'll have the opening and as well as the presentation of the reports adopted by the Regional Executive Committee, and those really are the political, organizational and financial reports that really give account of the term of office of the Regional Executive. We'll then have a presentation of the commissions that will be sitting, that will be tasked to discuss policy matters as well as position of the region as we all prepare as a province to the provincial conference, as well as post the provincial conference, the preparation towards the policy conference, and of course later on the national conference of the ANC. We will then today as well deal with the disbandment of the REC or the RTT as it is now constituted, and then prepare for the nomination of the office bearers. We should be able to prepare for the nomination as well as the voting of the office bearers before people sleep tonight or early hours in the morning. And then commissions will run concurrently, as we always do. We'll then come back once the IEC has concluded its work to present the results of the office bearers. And then we'll proceed to the nomination and election of the additional members of the regional executive. I think it's just it's a culture of the ANC conferences that we do start fairly late as opposed to what we plan. But once we start, we just continue full steam ahead until we conclude.
All right. Thank you so much, Tasneem Motara. Just giving us details about what we can expect today. And as you heard, there are few appeals have already been lodged, but she's saying that, they are planning to ensure that those are settled and resolved as soon as possible before the conference actually gets underway.